good to have you right there on Global Television today. Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. And you can download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app on iOS and your Android devices to keep track of our broadcasts from any part of the world. Like we always say, Global Television is a global television. We cover everywhere in the world. We are global. Today, we want to talk about something very important. And that's the issue of insecurity and how it has become a global threat. You know, its impact, the impact of the insecurity that we face in Nigeria here. What does it cost Nigerians? What has it cost Nigerians in the diaspora? All of this we will be looking at today. And of course, joining me on the conversation this morning is the General Secretary of the Idoma Association in the United States of America, in the person of Onche Sylvester. It's good to have you join us this morning, Sylvester.
Right here. Well, it's good to meet with you and to talk on things that are affecting the life of our people.
Thank you very much. Now, let's begin from the things happening in Nigeria right here. Because as a matter of fact, a lot is happening. We want to know, how do Nigerians in diaspora feel about the security situation in the country? You know, you are not here, but then your party is still in Nigeria. How do you perceive the impact or the insecurity situation going on back at home in Nigeria?
Oh, thank you for that question. The world is a global village now. Whatever happens in one country affects another one, other people in other area. Originally, we are from Nigeria. I'm Idoma by tribe, and anything that happens at home echoes around here, especially with the Idoma brothers and sisters, right? We have the Idoma Association USA. Our main goal is to do the things that can positively affect our brothers here, and also those in Nigeria, especially the Zone C area of Idoma speaking tribe of Benue State. So if anything that happens in Nigeria affects us in one way or another, first of all, we travel back home when we come for holidays and during the festive period. If you go back there and you don't have a way to sleep and with your one eye open, or you stay awake until to build a security guard around your family, all through the night, and even in the daytime you're afraid, and you hear from your people, you can't pass through this road, you can't go through this way, all because of the event of insecurity. So being specific, we were home for the Christmas season, and we find out that every time we go out, there are policemen walking around with the people that are rich amongst them, and the rest of the people are left open. So it's our home, and anything that affects our home affects us here in one way or another. So we also have family members in Nigeria where we hear the story of killings in, like the recent one was the retired ambassador Impact-Onche in Asa. Asa is so close to home. We have people in Ojira, we have people in the palace, we have people around Otukpo, Asa itself in GRA. So if anything happens around there, it affects. We even have family members here that are taken aback by the killings in Otukpo, you know, and whatever happens in Otukpo affects us negatively here too. Thank you.
Right. Now, you've already gone down because recently, just a few days ago, we heard of a lot of. I'm actually going to talk about Otukpo now because you already said something about it. A few days ago, there were protests, different protests in Otukpo, and that's Benue State. And
Yes.
some persons said there are killing, there are adoptions. Then on Thursday night, Thursday night, a Benue Links bus was intercepted somewhere around Otupo, the Zone C area of Benue State, and the driver's life was taken, and of course, everyone in that bus was taken away. Now, hearing this incident and having people back at home, is there anything, does it really, you've already talked about the impact, but then how do people there react to situations like this?
When things like this happen at home, the first reaction here is that of fear for family members. Okay, so you know that we have parents, we have brothers and sisters around there. So if an incident, like, okay, take for example the Benue Links, right? You know the kind of people that are going through and going Benue Links, those that don't have much, that have little to offer. So they manage the lowest cost of transportation to go from either from Makodi to Otukpo or to Buklo or to Otukba or anywhere around the Idoma area. And if you go through the lowest level of transportation in Benue State and you are in danger of being kidnapped or being killed, that makes it worse for the poor man, for the ordinary man, because that's the easiest mode of transportation for him. So if he can't go through the Benue Links, what other source of transportation does he have or she have to use? So that's so impactful and painful. So even as we hear that, you might hear that today, but tomorrow it might be something else. So the fear here is, if it can happen to people that are traveling with such mode of transportation that are, I guess, the cheapest around the area, then visitors coming in will not be able to come back in. The fear will be there, even for people from US to travel back home, people from UK to travel back home, because it now gives the idea of so much insecurity around them, because if you don't have life, you don't have any other thing to offer. So for us here is always the issue of life and the safety of life and properties, and those are things that are important in life. So we keep asking, we need the protection of the government, of individuals, of members of the society. One way or another, people are going to contribute one way to keep to the safety of our people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sylvester. Now, let's get to this. One thing is to know that there is a problem somewhere. And another thing is profiling solution. Some persons will tell you, well, I don't want to hear about the problems, but the solution is what I want to hear. Teach me how to fish and don't give me fish to eat. That's what a lot of people say. Now, have there been any step taken so far by people in diaspora concerning this issue? Have there been calls put across to some persons to say, hey, what are you doing about this? Have there been times when the people meet together and strategize back there in the diaspora to say, what do we do, okay, to calm this situation? Even if we can't stop it completely, if we can minimize it, we've played our own role. Or have there been government authorities, security operatives, heads, leaders, traditional heads that has been communicated to by people in diaspora, especially the Idoma Association members in the United States and United Kingdom and other parts of the world? Because as I speak with you, it is what it is, because the bleeding is so much, the cry is so much back at home. So has there been any effort so far from those of you at the diaspora?
Oh, yes, especially from the Idoma Association USA. We've been having town halls meeting with the elected officials or even with the traditional rulers. We tend to communicate grievances to them, but you know, whatever you say, we wait for the result, because if we keep talking from now till eternity and without result, that's not the solution. So we have even provided solutions to them. They know that we have asked them to help with the community policing by individuals also, and also to be able to impact the people economically, because if you have something to do, if you have food to eat, if you have resources to share with one another, you always have the opportunity to live in peace. So we've been talking to leaders. We organize town halls with our partners in UK, our partners in Australia, our partners in Vietnam, and other parts of the world. So it's an ongoing thing, and we'll keep communicating to them. For any moment, we also share with publications of things that are happening. So we speak to our leaders through the media houses also, because if you speak directly to them, sometimes you also need to go out of your immediate environment to speak to the larger society. So we do that through the media. And so far, so good. It's been successful because we see some movements of, especially our politicians, where they are putting interest in those things that are happening. So also we have made plans already to ask our people in diaspora. If you're so much concerned about what is happening at home, you can also put resources together to be able to establish businesses at home where people can find work, and also be able to communicate to our brothers and sisters. We have a slogan here in US that if you see something, you have to say something. So we need to teach the people on how to defend themselves, not only by means of violence, but by communicating to one another. If you see something that is not working well for your society, you need to say it and let the other people know that, okay, the environment is not conducive, so people can safeguard themselves. All right? Thank you.
Okay, that's well spoken. I had an interview with a human rights activist from Benue State. I think that was within the week when the incident was hot and the youths were on the street. And we came to realize that there are factions of vigilantes. You know, every administration, from what he said, every administration comes with their own vigilantes and all of that. Then he said something like, all right, they have a vigilante that knows the nooks and cranny of these areas, that knows who is who, that can handle situations. Now, is it possible? All right, because you said something very vital, the issue of if you know what's happening back at home, it's worrisome to you, put resources together. And that is very, very interesting. I think I love that, because there were complaints from the human rights activists that actually they need to register some vigilantes so that they can actually protect the territorial integrity of the Benue South, Zone C, wherever, the Otupo, the Baribo, the Opoku, and the rest of them. But now, let me ask you this question, because the Idoma Association in the United States, the steps you've taken so far to curb insecurity and to contribute your own quota to make sure there is security in Nigeria, not just in Benue State alone, is commendable. But now, a lot of people feel if you leave the country, that is all. They don't care anymore. But it's different for your own association. All right, it's different for some of you. So what makes yours different? Why do you think so? Because some people, a lot of people in Nigeria now are looking for how to jackpot. They call it the jackpot syndrome in Nigeria, because they feel if they leave Nigeria, it is all rosy and they forget about anything happening back home. But your case is not like that. So what's the difference there?
No, it is not, because we are originally Nigerians. No matter the title you have here, no matter the citizenship status you have, you're always Nigerian, and you have families there. So you have a part of you that always lingers in Nigeria. So we are traditional in the sense that always an Idoma man is always an Idoma man. So we found that solace amongst ourselves here, that if you have all the good things in America, in UK, in Australia, in every other parts of the world, because if you come down here, you have electricity all the time, you have enough food to eat, you have clothing, you have housing, you have the job, but that's not enough because you need the family to survive. So we come together as a group in the United States to fulfill that brotherly love of sisters and brothers, and we like to we tend to share that with our people at home. So there's no way you can forget your family members at home. In short, the focus we have on things that are happening at home is even beyond what we have here, because already here you can go out of the home and come back in peace without so much conflict, without so much insecurity, because everywhere you have policemen and security apparatus working in unison. Therefore, we are always confident when we go out and come back because of the nature of the place. But at home, like give you my experience, I was there in December, and when you take your walk around this town, you see that you hardly find policemen everywhere. So it looks like a barren land for those who come to do evil stuff to the people, to just walk in, cause so much havoc, and go back without being caught. So if you look around the environment, you see the porousness of the place, and that gives the concern that even if you are not there, your family members need to be safe. So that pushes us to contribute a quota, to even do beyond and beyond the capacity. We ask all our brothers and sisters to keep doing that, and even that, we have other members here that have resources to want to come to invest in Nigeria too. So we keep pushing, but before you do that, you need to have a conducive environment for business to thrive. So for us, we are like visitors here. The real home is back there. Thank you
very much. I think you're saying some very vital things here. No wonder you are the General Secretary. Well, Nigerians in diaspora, you know, have a lot to do. And I'm so impressed that you are actually itemizing these things, that you are right there and everything is okay. You don't have to forget Nigeria. And one of the aspects that actually caught my fancy is the part where you talked about investing back home. But then the environment needs to be conducive for investment. There needs to be enough security, because no one would want to put his money where there is no security, where the money will not be secured. Now, there are speculations, all right, that the youths in Nigeria, the youths in Northeast, the youths in Northwest, the youths in South-South, the youths in the North Central, in Otupo, Ogbadibo, and every other place that are jobless, can also be used as tools, all right, to perpetrate this evil, especially when some of them are being used as talks during elections, and the weaponry that they have, the guns, the machete, everything that they have as talks back then. It is being alleged that some of them might go into crime, especially where there is no good job, no source of employment. You know, so what would you have to say to our youths? Because the youths are the life wire of every nation, of every state, of every local government, of every district. So what's your word to our young men and women in Nigeria, the youths especially? Because you were once a youth, and of course your association with a lot of youths, and where you are right now, you should be a good advisor to youths back home who are jobless and who feel the only way now is to take into crime.
Yeah. So I was in Nigeria. I used to do the little things to survive. All hands are not equal. So I think the first thing to look at is the talent of every individual. From my perspective, talent is essential, so also is hard work. If you good with making shoes, give it a brand. If you good with farming, give it a brand. If you good with clothing, like for example in Otukbo, there are a lot of kids who do tailoring. They are experts in it. If you take Versace from Italy, is the talent of tailoring. So if they apply the same wisdom in their kind of job, they can become international. When I was there, I saw this young guy that does sandals, and I told him, if you put so much of your effort in doing that, right, we can introduce markets to you from here. We have people who sell Nigerian stuff here in Nigerian stores, so we can as well introduce your product to them. So encourage them to show for their talent in whatever way they can, and include that in with hard work. Here we have this brother who is into IT. He's looking across, even all the way from US here to Tukbo. He has an IT school, and we have said, if we get enough kids to look into that, you teach them. In India, for example, they're in India, they work with American companies, right, through the internet. So you can be a salesperson, you can be a customer care person, even right from Otukbo. So all this, you have to put your interest, you have to work hard. I did the smallest job, even though I was a graduate, for me to survive, for me to improve my life. And even coming here, we don't just sit down. No matter what you do, you have to work to earn a living. And so that makes you comfortable. You say when you work and earn living from what you do, you're always looking to how to keep yourself out of trouble. So I'm saying to the youth there, right in Otukbo, in Benue State, in Nigeria, find something that works for you. Find something that's your talent, and make sure you put your effort in that. Thank you.
Spoken, because I think you just hit the point. Because people who are into tech, people who do one or two things on the internet, people do remote jobs these days. But then some persons find it very difficult to actually learn. But then I saw good that the YouTube is right there, which is the greatest teacher. We can also learn on YouTube. Now, you've spoken to the youth. I feel it's now time for you to speak to the leaders. Because we've had situations where we hear things like, well, some persons are sponsoring this insecurity, terrorists, kidnappers, and all of that. But at the end of the day, we don't get to hear where these persons are being prosecuted openly, for people to see, to at least to know, to see and shame them, so that they can face the wrath of the law, and others will take caution. So now, can you just give your piece of advice to the traditional heads and, of course, the government of Nigeria before I let you go?
Okay. Leadership has to do with followership, right? So before I speak to the leadership, I have to speak to the followership, because the leaders you have is made by what the followers do. If they steal from you, and the next moment they come back to you and you singing, you dancing, you playing, you've been happy even in your suffering, they have more leverage to do the things they do. So the followers should hold the leaders accountable. They take their power from how you treat them. If you treat them nice because they do good stuff, they keep doing the good stuff. If you treat them bad, if you ignore them one way or another and focus on the things that help your life, they'll learn to listen to that. So we are advising that the followers make the leaders work. You can't be undergoing so much violence in in your area, and the leaders come in, and the next thing you do is to get your drums and your ashoke and the nice dresses, and you come out to play the drums for them. That doesn't work. That's not something that the followers should do. They are supposed to give accountability to the leaders so that when they come around, you tell them what you need. And so also the leaders can listen to you. And for the leaders, we see a lot of them here. If they come in here, they are like the men on the street. So they follow the rules and they do the right thing when they come down here. So if they come back to Nigeria, it's a different thing because they have the security around them. They have all the luxury around them. So we're asking the leaders this time, if something is wrong with your people, if something is happening in the communities that are not well for the people, you take your time, call a town hall meeting that is sincere. Be sincere to the followers. Tell them what you can do. And when you're handicapped, you need to let them know so that they can put in effort also to helping you to achieve what you need to achieve. Our leaders, please, we're begging you from this side of the Atlantic. We have seen what leaders do here. They take things that are personal to the people and make it their priority. They want the jobs, they want the security, they want electricity, they want good housing. That's how they tell that this is a good government. That's how they tell their people, this is what I've done for the past 4 years. This is what I've done for last year. This is what I'm going to do. And that's why the value of leadership is also felt here all year round, every day. Like, take for example, where I live. I don't have to know the council. I don't have to know the House of Rep member. I don't have to know the construction company. When the road is bad, they fix it. You don't have to talk too loud. They come fix it because they see it and they know the people need that. So we are asking in Otukpo, in Okpoga, in Ogboklo, in every part of our community, please, leaders, give them the little things that they need. Nigerians are grateful people. If you do something small, they give praises to you. Do the little, then build by it. In economics, they say unbalanced development. Like if you build a block and somebody else comes to build the foundation, and the next person builds the roof, and the next person gives you the curtain in the house, the other person puts the furniture, that gives you a complete look of what you want. So like leaders come in, if somebody does something good, you come in and you don't want it and you throw it out. Take, for example, the vigilante system from the last government. It has been taken away. It might be something good for the people, but because it's a different government, they come and throw it out. So go back to the basis. If somebody builds from the foundation, you have to build on it. And that's how you build a house that is worthy to live in. So for Benue State especially, we're asking the leaders, please look onto the Zone A, Zone B, and also Zone C. Because if you share the development, it means the people all around grow up together, and the development comes to the entire society. So it shouldn't be to one side of it and the other side is left. Because if you leave one side empty, they tend to drift to the other side, and then you have a barren land. I've always spoken that Nigeria, from what we see here, from what we see, they call this place developed countries. From what we see, Nigeria is still a barren land. It means there are a lot of improvement to be made, and there are a lot of ways that you can improve the life of our people, and they can be settled. If you settle them well, they are the most peaceful people that we have, because they like to have good life. They like to enjoy themselves. They like family orientation. They like all the things that make the life worthwhile. That's what they want. So give it to them, and you'll see how nice the society is. Thank you.
Well, that's a very good sermon. That's a very good word. A very big thank you to you, Onche Sylvester, for joining us today. This is going to be the size of the conversation, and the issue of insecurity and its threats and its impact, global impact. Just like you said, The issue of insecurity in Nigeria have global impact because investors can't come in. People in diaspora cannot come back home because some of the places where they belong is full of insecurity. And they keep hearing this story because it's a global village, like you said. Thank you for adding your voice to the conversation, and the nice job the Idoma Association in the United States is doing should be spread to other parts. The Yoruba community, the Igbo community, the Hausa community, the Nupe community, the Gwari community, and the diaspora should also follow suit so that we can have a better Nigeria. So many thanks once again, Onche Sylvester, for joining us on the program.
Yeah, thank you. We usually have a convention once every year. So we are inviting people from all over the world to come join us so that we can showcase our culture and also to share what we know with one another.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a beautiful day ahead of you. You have to stay awake to be part of this program.
I'm going to go to bed now.
So
this is 3
Regards to everyone there at the diaspora. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you. Thank you. We have more of this.
Thank you. All right, this is the size of the conversation for this morning. That's to tell you that the insecurity situation in Nigeria is not just one person's problem. It's not something that only one person can actually handle. We say it oftentimes. The government is playing their own parts. Individuals have to play their own roles too. Tell someone to tell someone. If you suspect any suspicious movement around your environment, you don't need to be a part of the vigilante. You don't need to be a member of the community heads or maybe a leader. But whoever you are, your security is guaranteed if you are security conscious yourself. So what do? We should try as much as possible not to destroy our own land, because there are speculations that some of those people who perpetrate this evil are joined with members of these various communities. They come in, get an insider, and they collaborate to do the evil they are doing. Maybe, probably because some persons are idle. And an idle hand is the workshop of the devil. You can be easily used if you're idle. And that's the reason I so buy to the idea of Onche Sylvester from the United States this morning, who said, well, you can actually put your talents together and seek for help. If your talent has been discovered, if people know you can do this, showcase what you have, and someone may pick it up from there. But then you need to have something in your hand. Even if God is going to bless the works of your hands, you need to have a work in your hand. That's what it means. All right. So we shouldn't be idle. We shouldn't contribute to the security situations. We should be conscious. We should know when to go out and when to come in as Nigerians, especially areas that are prone to these security situations, and places where this kidnapping, this killing, this abductions happens. The Northwest, the North Central, every part of Nigeria. It's not even one side anymore. It's everywhere. So we should try as much as possible to make sure we are security conscious ourselves, and our leaders should rise to the occasion. If you know any sponsor of terrorism, bring them to book. They should face the wrath of the law. It doesn't matter. You spare them today, they may come after you tomorrow. You don't know. So a terror is a terror. All right? It doesn't matter whether the person is your brother or is from your clan or is from your region. Whoever that is a terror is a terror. We don't need them in the society. And we have our roles to play. There is room for repentance. There is room for change. That's the only constant thing that we have as a people. Change is constant. So you can change anytime and become a new person. You can renounce whatever you have professed in the past as a terrorist, as a kidnapper, as someone who is involved in abducting people. Many thanks for joining us today on Global Morning this beautiful weekend. I'm taking a bow right now, but don't forget that Global Television is on DSTV, channel 365, and that's the reason you can watch me right now. Do you have Star Times? All right, channel 276. Then anywhere you are, like people in diaspora, I just spoke with someone from the United States of America. They can watch us right there. How do they do this? They may not have Star Times and, of course, DSTV there, but you can go on iOS or Play Store and download the the Global TV Nigerian app. It's blue. Of course, download it and follow all our live broadcasts and everything we do from here, so that you can be informed, so that you can be entertained, and so that you can be educated. That's the basis of our communication. We are a news and current affairs station, and we are always there to serve you 24/7. Many thanks once again for staying with us this beautiful weekend. Go out there, have fun, stay out of trouble, and of course, minimize your spending, so that Monday when you get back to work, you will be able to put all your effort in work. Don't be distracted at work. Do what you need to do and get the result that you are actually looking for. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Many thanks for staying with us on Global Morning this beautiful weekend. Bye-bye for now.
Welcome to Global Morning.